Well, there, yeah. So right now I'm along the Embarcadero. Along the Embarcadero. It's actually in Oakland at Denison. This is the entrance to get onto the Alameda Naval Station. About 15 minutes ago, 40 or so California Highway Patrol officers in riot gear have arrived. Their goal, they've been trying to do this peacefully for the last 45 minutes or so, is to clear the intersection because they say there are civilians who need to come off of the base, and these folks are blocking the only way on and off to the base if you're driving a vehicle. So the Highway Patrol is here. They've got 40 officers in riot gear right here. There's another 10 on Denison over there, and then an additional 20 or so, 30 maybe, officers in regular uniforms also nearby. And so we think that probably what's going to happen here is they're going to try to clear the intersection. They're getting a lot of pushback from these protesters who have been blocking this road since early this morning. They are here, of course, because they are upset that ICE officers have been sent to the island. About 100 or so, we believe, arrived yesterday and this morning. And they are upset about that, and they do not want to clear the intersection. And we're going to see what happens here in the next 20 minutes to half hour as these Highway Patrol officers possibly try to clear the intersection. There's maybe about 100 protesters. Almost everyone's got their cell phone out videotaping this as it happens. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly what happens here. So far, it has been peaceful. It's been peaceful since early this morning. Of course, we've been showing that video of a flashbang grenade and border protection officers moving onto the base early this morning. That's been quite a while ago. The California Highway Patrol also here for a while and cleared some of the vehicles that were blocking the road. They say emergency vehicles can't get through here, so they moved some of those vehicles successfully, peacefully. But now it appears they're trying to move all of the protesters out of the roadway. And again, this is happening along the Embarcadero in Oakland at Denison. This is the only route onto the Alameda Naval Station. One group that is not here, that we have not seen all day, is the Oakland Police Department. Technically, this is their territory, but they are nowhere to be found today. We don't know why that is exactly. The California Highway Patrol looks like they're moving forward. We're going to see what happens here as they move forward and try to clear out this intersection, get these folks to move back. We don't know exactly, how much resistance they're going to meet as they move in. But the California Highway Patrol in riot gear is now formed a line and is pushing these protesters out of the intersection very slowly. And we've got a little disturbance there, as you can see. These protesters don't want to give up this intersection, but the Highway Patrol has ramped it up here in the last 20 minutes or so and is now looking to clear these folks out of the area. Not quite sure what happened there. It looks like they've got one man down on the ground. Looks like they're detaining him, cuffing him. And we'll have to take a look here at the rest of the protest.
And Charles, we're watching these live pictures. Charles, we're watching these live pictures with you, and we can see that person there on the ground. And in that line of protesters, there's also several members of the media. We see some of them with their larger cameras. You did mention that a lot of the people have their cell phones out, documenting what is happening. Can you also describe a little bit more of the pushback that you have seen from these protesters today?
So they've been very vocal. There's a lot of curse words and insults being thrown at the Coast Guard security here. And now that attention is being focused on the Highway Patrol as they move in to try to clear out the intersection. Let's see how over here, the main entrance to the base is a little bit to the right of the image you're seeing here. This is the main intersection of Embarcadero and Denison. And there are quite a bit of media here, media from all over the state. I've seen media from Monterey, Sacramento. Our affiliate News Nation is here as well. Most of the media here has security guards with them. There was an incident earlier today where one of the security guards was pushed to the ground and injured. He was bloodied up his face a little bit there. I think he's going to be okay, though. So it's been a very tense afternoon here in Oakland as these protesters block the intersection to the Alameda Naval Station Island. We have not seen any vehicles come off the island since, well, basically all day. There have been some folks on foot coming off of the island, presumably people who work on the base who are trying to go home for the day. And the Highway Patrol has said that what they're doing now is to clear the intersection so that the civilians on the base can leave the base. And let's go ahead and take a look here.
And Charles, that was sort of their main reason for saying,
right here.
Yeah, they were saying that that's why they need to clear this intersection, because it's the only way in and out for cars to get in and off of Coast Guard Island. There's just one little bridge there. Did the CHP do any verbal warnings ahead of lining up there in their riot gear? Did they go and talk to people? And how much notice were they given if that happened?
So the Highway Patrol, for about half an hour or so, using the loudspeaker on one of their vehicles, asked the protesters to clear the intersection so that civilians could leave the island. That got increasingly vocal and frequent, but ultimately nobody moved. In fact, that might have actually resulted in more people blocking the intersection. They gave up on that effort about half an hour ago and now have riot gear officers moving in. And at this point, it looks like they've have about half the intersection cleared. They are making progress on moving everyone back to the other side of Embarcadero and off of Dennis. And we have seen some civilians come off, like on foot and in bicycles, and they have been heckled by the protesters here. It's sort of, nobody's asking who any